Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. What we are looking at today is something that you've seen before. You should have done it last year, or you most likely did it last year, and it is the real number system. So you probably saw something kind of similar to this. It talked about natural numbers, which are your counting numbers. I always call them my Elmo numbers. So anything that Elmo would count. All right. So if you think of numbers that Elmo would count, that would include something like 1, 10, 20. He could count to 1,000. He could count to 3,552. All right. Things like that. Whole numbers are counting numbers and zero. The only difference is Elmo doesn't count zero things because that confuses little kids. All right. So Elmo counts all positive numbers with no decimals, no fractions, all that stuff. Whole numbers just add in zero. Integers are whole numbers and counting numbers, natural numbers, and they're negatives. So we could have -1, -10, -20, -1,000, and -3,552. All right. Rational numbers are numbers that are repeating decimals or can be written as a fraction. All right. So any repeating decimal can be written as a fraction. So if I'm looking at something like 3.555 ... that's a rational number. 2/3, that's a rational number. I understand their decimals, I understand their fractions, but if you turn them all into decimals, they're repeating. That's what we're looking for. All right? So the only thing that gets students caught up sometimes is if they see something like 4/2, they'll say, well, it's a fraction, it needs to go in rational. But 4 divided by 2 is actually 2, so it would go in the natural numbers. Or maybe you see something like the square root of 16. Again, that equals 4. That goes in that natural number. If you see something that says -3/2, that's rational. That fraction cannot be reduced. But if you see something like -6/2, well, that equals -3, so that would go in our integers. All right? So that is what we are looking on today. That's just a review of what you've done before. And then hopefully what we're doing today is building upon that knowledge that you have, and we're going to add to it.